All right, all right. Welcome to the Pitchfork podcast for May 2nd, 2021. Give you guys like the stream, hit like button, hit share button. Make sure you share the stream with other people that you think would love it. I think that'd be everybody. So let's go ahead and get the stream shared out. Get it out there into the ether so people can see it. Let other people know that I exist. Without you guys, people would not know I existed. So that being said, let me go ahead and make sure I get out all the stuff I need to get out. All right. Pin message. Okay, here we go. All right, pin that right there on Twitch. Hello, Twitch. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. Thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you guys for holding me down. We're going to get into the live show. Without further ado, guys, we're going to get into the live show. We're going to do some bad cop, no donut. Maybe a few general news stories, but bad cop, no donut is kind of what I do. So let's get into the news. All right, so we already got a Google screen. It's open. Now we're going to do what we always do. Officer placed on leave. It's amazing how many stories pop up within the past 24 hours, right? So we've already covered the Savannah and the Baton Rouge one. There's a few more that I missed. There's actually one that I want to cover that's not so much a bad cop, no donut story, but it is a story about a college professor. But we want to cover this first one here. This one's going to be a little bit interesting. So this is about an officer in Pelican Bay shoots an armed man during a domestic violence call, I want to say. So that's one that I definitely want to cover. But there were a few that I missed. Right? So here's one that I missed. And this story is pretty crazy. Because this story is, I haven't even seen this one, and I'm very, very curious about it. I have not seen this one, but I'm very curious about it. Wow, that's from 2013. Okay, that's a very, very old video then. I was going to say that's a relatively new one, but there's a few ones that I wanted to get into, but here's one that I definitely want to cover. So everyone talks about cancel culture. Everyone speaks about cancel culture and about how people shouldn't be canceled because of what they say and what they believe. And it's very, very interesting how some people say that, right? How some people are so adamant about there not being any cancel culture. And yet, when it comes to certain scenarios, certain situations, people believe in cancel culture. So let's go ahead and get into this video. All right, so we have a corrupted files. That's actually a bad cop, no donut, but it's a corrupted files I have for you. California college professor placed on leave after scolding student who said police are heroes. So again, this is about a college professor's free speech. You know, everyone sat there and defended Gina Carano, right? Everyone sat there and defended Gina Carano, but it's very, very interesting how when certain people use their free speech to speak about certain subjects, about scolding a student. I mean, and granted, maybe if you're a college professor, you shouldn't be scolding a student, but it is your classroom. You know, to a certain extent, they do have control of it. But at the same time, I do get why she should be disciplined, but to be placed on leave for that seems a little extreme, especially given that everyone's so interested in cancel culture. You know, everyone's so against people being canceled, right? so against people being canceled, except for when it comes to people that in which they don't agree with. So Cypress, California. It seems that academia's unbridled wokeism has limits after all, at least in this case where the offensive professor didn't have tenure. A left-wing California college professor who defended cancel culture and repeatedly talked down to a student who called police heroes has herself been canceled after video of the virtual class went viral, Fox News reported. So basically, they are celebrating this person being placed on leave and potentially losing their job because they said some things that they don't agree with. Now, the whole point of them being against cancel culture is for them to not be against people being canceled. I mean, if that's not the goal, if that's not the end goal, then I'm very curious. I'm very curious as to what the goal is. Right? If the goal isn't less people cancel for opinions, then what exactly do you stand for? And do you just stand for people not being canceled when they agree with you? The unidentified first-year adjunct professor at Cypress College in Cypress, California, claimed she would be in more danger if she called 911 during an armed home invasion and police responded. You know, given how there are some cops who toss flashbang grenades into babies' cribs, about how cops shoot people in their own homes to get 10 years of hug in the Bible. You know, I mean, really, you can't really argue that. I mean, where's the fucking lie? I mean, to be quite honest with you, I've had several violent encounters, especially given some of the things that I've looked into personally when it comes to community safety in multiple states. And I gotta say, there's not been one time where I've been tempted to call the police except to document things. But it's never to get them to solve a problem, because police are useless. They never solve problems. They always come after the fact. They always come after the fact. And even when they show up, there are times where the person who called the police ends up being shot. I mean, there's some recent events that have happened that demonstrate that. I mean, I got a 155-pound pit bull. They would shoot my dog. I know they would. So I don't want cops anywhere near me. And I've made that clear to local cops here. I don't want you anywhere near me. So with that being said, I mean, I really can't spot the freaking lie here. She's now on leave. She's now on a leave of absence for the rest of the semester and will not be returning in the fall, the school said in a statement early Saturday morning. So again, the school, just like the so-called SJWs, the classroom SJWs, they caved to outside pressure because that was her classroom. She made a statement. And like I said, maybe she shouldn't be making that statement in a particular classroom. However, that was her opinion. That was her free speech. So why was she placed on leave for sharing an opinion? I mean, that seems like something that a letter of reprimand would easily cover versus being placed on leave and potentially losing your job. But again, the law officer at lawofficer.com and the political right are cheering this. They're cheering this. Because they are not against cancel culture. They're only against cancel culture when it's them that's being canceled. Cypress College takes great pride in fostering a learning environment for students where ideas and opinions are exchanged as a vital piece of the educational journey, the school said in a statement. Our community fully embraces this culture. Students often defend one another's rights to express themselves freely, even when opinions differ. Any efforts to suppress free and respectful expression on our campus will not be tolerated, except for when it comes to opinions about, you know, the pigs, the road pirates, the slave patrol, the modern day slave patrol, and even the ones who are people of color themselves. We realize what they were. There were house Negroes back in the slave days. So the slave patrol, the road pirates, you know, when someone shares an opinion about your road pirates, suddenly free speech and expression are no longer tolerated. Again, look at how law officer, again, this is lawofficer.com, law officer, the bootlicking resources of the freaking internet, lawofficer.com. Look at how they describe her, right? The arrogant educator told 19-year-old student Braden Ellis. Braden. Again, notice how the Karen types who wants to get other people goddamn fired, right? Notice the Karen types. It's always a soft ass Punk ass name, Braden Ellis. You think Braden Ellis is pulling in major goddamn tail? You think Braden Ellis is going to end up being a goddamn UFC fighter? You think Braden Ellis is gonna defend his woman if a loud noise, a loud and scary noise pops up at fucking nighttime? You think Braden Ellis is gonna fucking do that? Or do you think Braden Ellis is a female to male transgender version of a goddamn Karen? Which one do you think is more likely? If he's going around videotaping his damn professors who simply respond with a fucking opinion. A business major, mind you. Again, this is how you know he's gonna be a goddamn Karen. Change your major to fucking human resources. Yeah, that sounds like something a fucking Braden should goddamn be in. Braden Ellis. That police were created in the American South to track down runaway slaves and suggested that policing is inherently a form of systemic racism, according to the video posted on Twitter, see below. Again, they were based on runaway slaves, and it's very I want to see what was the response here, because what she said was absolutely correct. They are absolutely based on capturing runaway slaves.
All right, so you brought up the police in your speech a few times. Right. So what is your main concern? Since, I mean, honestly, the whole reason police, I mean, it is systemic. The issue is systemic because the whole reason we have police departments in the first place, where did it stem from? What's our history? Going back to what Jeremy was talking about, what does it stem from?
She's not wrong. I'm very curious. I'm very curious. I want to know who out there disagrees with her. Who out there says that she's wrong, because everything that she said so far is absolutely true. They are based on systemic racism. They are just like gun control, just like so many of our constitutional amendments, just like so many laws. It's like the freaking war on terror, the war on drugs, freaking mass incarceration. A lot of it is based on Jim Crow. A lot of it is. A lot of it is based on historical racism, and you can't escape that. You can't just get around that. You can't just gloss over that. It fucking is what it is. She's right so far. So I'm very curious, lawofficer.com, to see how exactly she's wrong. I want to know what the bootlickers think. I'm very, very curious. How is she wrong here?
It stems from people in the South wanting to capture runaway slaves.
Maybe they shouldn't be heroes. Maybe they don't belong on a kid's show.
So I disagree with what Jeremy said about it, because
notice he did not disagree with what the professor said, right? Because he said no, Jeremy, that guy, he just says maybe they shouldn't be on kids shows. They're not heroes. He wanted to go for the low-hanging fruit. The low-hanging fruit. It's very, very easy. It's very easy to go after low-hanging fruit, right? But it's very, very difficult to refute what that professor just said. That's why he didn't begin with her, because she started off before the other guy did, right? So why not respond to her first, since she's the actual educator? Why respond to the other guy? Because that's low-hanging fruit. You can't respond to the fact that they were based on the goddamn slave patrol, and in that alone, that creates a rift between them and certain communities. You can't fucking address that. And notice that it's never a black guy. Almost never a black guy. You do get your freaking Joels and your Anthony Bryan Logans and your Brandon Tatums. You do get your types. All two of them. But notice how it's almost never a black guy. It's always a person who either looks like a freaking neckbeard, a Karen type, or has a striking resemblance between themselves and Kyle goddamn Rittenhouse. Knows how he even looks like Kyle Rittenhouse. Listen. Keep it a buck, right? Just keep it a buck. If we look up Kyle Rittenhouse right now, and we look up this picture side by side, right? Just side by side. I want to look up a picture of Kyle Rittenhouse. I want to put it up side by side. And I want you to see the striking resemblance, and it's all gonna make sense when you see the striking resemblance between this guy and Kyle Rittenhouse, and notice the language that he's using. It's all gonna make sense. It's all gonna add up, because these people, right? They not only sound alike, they look alike. This is how you know that you're dealing with these fucking right-wing racists who want to pretend like they're anything but racist. So I want to look. I want you to see this, right? I'm gonna put that up there on the freaking screen, right? And I want you to see this, the striking resemblance. Look at Kyle Rittenhouse and look at that guy, and tell me they don't look fucking alike. Look at Kyle Rittenhouse and look at that guy and tell me they don't look alike. Why is it that every time you get these white racists who say, oh, the police are not that bad, or Black Lives Matter, why is it that they always look alike, man? Because there's only about 5 or 6, maybe 7, maybe 8 different looks to them, man. But you gotta admit, the striking resemblance that this man has with Kyle Rittenhouse, it's almost creepy, isn't it? They could be the same goddamn person. I think they are the same motherfucker. I think Kyle Rittenhouse is fucking, he's definitely escaped, containment, and I think that he's actually attending this goddamn school. This motherfucker looks just like Kyle Rittenhouse, and to be quite honest with you, probably sounds just like him too. Right? That is some uncanny shit, that you look and sound just like Kyle fucking Rittenhouse.
I think cops are heroes, and they have to have a difficult job, but we have to have that
all of
fine
them?
life. Oh, I'd say a good majority of them. You have bad people in every business and every.
Here we go. The fuck explaining. Well, we have bad people in every profession. Notice, right? I want people to see my face when I say this, right? Notice, whenever someone says shit like, you shouldn't generalize cops, right? Here's a problem that I have with that. If I were to say that Comcast has shitty ass customer service, you wouldn't argue with that. If I were to say the DMV has shitty ass customer service, you wouldn't argue with that. If I were to say that lawyers are mostly liars who are full of shit, who just want money, you wouldn't argue with that. If I were to say politicians are mostly liars who just want money, you wouldn't argue with that. You would allow me to generalize so many other fucking professions, but suddenly when it comes to police officers, it's hashtag not all. Don't you find that odd? I find it odd. I find that to be particularly fucking odd. Why is it that when it comes to police officers, I have to walk on eggshells, I have to not generalize, but when it comes to any other goddamn profession, right? Any other profession, I am free to generalize. And also, when you make statements like most cops are good, or most people in this profession are good or bad inherently, that's also a generalization. I thought you said that we shouldn't be generalizing. Hey, that's what you said, right, bootlickers? Right? Are we generalizing or are we not generalizing? Pick one, because you can't have both, baby. You can't. Again, I don't even really want to finish this, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
Well,
wait. Police officers have committed atrocious crimes and have gotten away with it and have never been convicted of any of it. And I say this as a person who has family members who are police officers.
Yes.
So let me get this straight. She has family members who are police officers, and they still put her on leave because of a fucking opinion. Unbelievable.
I understand. And this is what I believe. This is my opinion. And this is, not popular to say, but I do support our police, and we have bad people, and the people that do bad things should be brought to justice. I agree with that. But I think that say it again.
They haven't.
They haven't. Exactly.
Well, I agree with you on that point of they should, right?
Well, what's going to happen to the ones who haven't? What's your plan for that, Kyle Rittenhouse 2.0? Rittenhouse Jr.? What's your plan for that? What's your fucking plan for that? Again, they will sit there, right? This woman is this woman, right? She has police officers in her family. And this man who, again, if he had cops in his family, he would have come back with that. But he did not come back with that. So I'm gonna fucking assume. I'm just gonna fucking assume. The same way that he's assuming that most cops are good, I'm gonna fucking assume that you have no cops in your damn family, like she does. Okay? Because if she didn't, that's one of the first things that lawofficer.com and Fox News and all the right-wing trash bins would have fucking mentioned. If that were not true about her. But it's true about fucking her, okay? It's true. So you who have no cops in your family are arguing with somebody who has cops in their family, they only have so far a fucking opinion. They are a college professor. You are in their course. A 19-year-old person arguing with a grown fucking adult about their fucking opinion. You who has not done law enforcement a day in their goddamn life, arguing with somebody with cops in their damn family about shit that is fucking historically accurate, and they got counsel for it. You Cal Rittenhouse looking bitch.
So what is your bottom line point? You're saying police officers should be revered, viewed as heroes? They belong on TV shows with children?
I think they are heroes in a sense because they come to your need and they come and help you, and they have problems just like every other business. But
no, they are not legally required to protect you. That's not the case. They are not legally required to fucking protect you. They come to help you. Yes, they come to help some people. But when you say things like they come to help you, do you agree that marijuana should be fucking legal? Do you think that people should be harassed or shot at or fucking arrested over a goddamn plant? If you don't, then for some people, they're not fucking helping you. Do you think that somebody should have their home taken because they didn't pay fucking property taxes, even though they paid down the whole goddamn house? Do you think that every law that cops enforce that they know is goddamn wrong, do you think it's goddamn right? Suppose for a second, Kyle Rittenhouse Jr. or bootlickers or Blue Lives Matter or a goddamn cop who's watching this, tell me, if a cop violates the Constitution, like for example, takes your gun just for no reason, right? And suppose there's a local law, a gun buyback and a gun take. Let's just say that Joe Biden loses his goddamn mind, says every gun in fucking America has got to be taken. No civilian ownership. We are revoking the Second Amendment. Are you telling me there are no cops who will fucking enforce that, right? Okay, where are those cops? Are they good cops or bad cops? See, people like that can't answer these goddamn questions. Because if you're telling me that California has all these goddamn restrictive goddamn gun laws, then who's enforcing the restrictive goddamn gun laws? It ain't civilians. It's the police.
We should fix that. But I think they're heroes. Well, I
think that's the problem. It's looking at it as a business. Because they're actually...
Boom. Looking at it as a freaking business. I think that's a part of the problem. Where is she lying so far? She has done nothing but spit hot fire. She is Dylon from fucking making the band with that freaking Dave Chappelle skit. She is spitting hot fire. There is nothing wrong with what she's saying. She got placed on leave for being anti-cop. So I don't want to hear anybody on the fucking political right talk about that they're canceling us. Shut the fuck up. They're canceling us. They're canceling us. Because again, you have no problem with people being canceled so long as it's your damn enemies. You have no problem with people being canceled so long as is this your goddamn political fucking enemies. And I got an issue with that. That's bullshit. Either you stand against it all time or shut the fuck up. Either you stand against cancel culture and censorship at all times, or I don't want to fucking hear it. And that's facts. Yeah, I went in on that one. I know I did, man. That's bullshit. You talking about cancel culture? Well, this chick got canceled here. You feel me? You feel me? You know, like you can't talk about cancel culture if you gonna sit here and be okay with people getting goddamn canceled here. So, you know what I mean? Like I can't sit here. I can't sit here and just ignore that. So we're gonna go cover some more bad cop no donut news. Let's see here. We're I'm looking through the archives right now. You guys can just chill with me and we'll grab a few more news stories for the live edits. That one looks pretty good. So, probate judge. So we're trying to grab some more. We've got so many. So many bad cop no donut stuff. So if you guys have any stories you want me to cover, let me know. It could be most any type of news story. I will cover it. But just don't ask me to cover it from like a certain standpoint, because you know I know a lot of people on the right, they be like, oh well, you got to cover this news, and okay, I'm gonna cover it, but it's not gonna be from the standpoint that you might not like it. So I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. So. All right, so we're gonna cover a few news stories here. Oh boy, this is gonna be a really bad one. So, all right, this is gonna be another bad cop no donut. Give me a second. Let me just use the restroom real quick. All right, we've got a really crazy one here. Former Southwest Ohio officer found guilty in child rape case. This is gonna be a wild one, man. It's gonna be a wild one. .420 smoking if you got him. .420 smoking if you got him. All right. I hate covering these kind of stories, but let's get into it. All right, he's got a bad cop. All right, I got a bad cop no donut for you. I hate covering these kind of stories, but we have to cover these. It's from the Journal News. Former Southwest Ohio police officer found guilty in child rape case. It is a crazy story. It's sick. It's going to make your stomach turn. I hate covering these kind of stories, but it's very important to cover these kind of stories because people have to know what these people are up to. A Miami County jury Friday found a former West Milton police officer guilty of rape of a girl younger than 13. A girl younger than, holy shit, man. Damn it. Jurors deliberated around 8 hours Thursday afternoon and Friday before returning its verdict in County Common Pleas Court. Kevin C. Wright, 34, of West Milton, faced 3 felony rape charges. The jury found him guilty of each count along with notation that the victim was under the age of 13. The girl in the courtroom for the verdict hugged a victim advocate. Wow. I don't know if I could have her in the courtroom, man. Like that's, I don't know if I could expose her to anything else, man. Like, geez, this is so horrible. Wright faces a lifetime in prison on the charges. You should get life. Yeah, you should definitely. I have no problem for a police officer who takes advantage of a young girl to spend the rest of his life in damn prison. I have no problem with that. I am so glad he spent the rest of his. He's gonna probably spend the rest of his life in their prison, or he's gonna be in there so long to the point where he's gonna die in there. Good. Judge Stacey Wall revoked Wright's bond, and he was taken to jail. Defense attorney Jay Lopez said he had no comment. Prosecutor Tony Kendall said he would withhold comment until sentencing. A sentencing date was not set. The 3 felony rape charges accused Wright of engaging in sexual conduct with another between August 1st, 2017 and June 1st, 2018. August 1st, 2018 to June 1st, 2019 and December 8th, 2019. The child was between the ages 10 and 12 during the alleged offense. Oh my, 10 and 12? What is wrong with you? Listen. This goes beyond an abuse of power. This goes so much beyond that. It's unbelievable. 10 and 12. That is disgusting, bro. Wright was the last person to testify in the case Thursday morning. Absolutely not. It was indescribable. I would never do anything like that. Wright testified when asked by defense lawyer Jay Lopez of his reaction when told of the girl's allegations by a sheriff's detective. Wright said he cooperated with investigators, giving them his cell phone and submitting to a DNA swab when asked. When told by an investigator they were searching the Wright home, Wright said that was okay. We have absolutely nothing to hide, he testified. We have absolutely nothing to hide, he testified. The girl, now 13, so that means she just turned 13. You sick son of a bitch. Told jurors Tuesday she made a comment in December 2019 to a friend who told school officials of suspected abuse. School officials talked with the girl and called police. The case was investigated by sheriff's detectives. I didn't want it to happen anymore, the girl said of her comment to the friend. Wow. Imagine if that's your daughter. Imagine just for a moment, put your mindset into the mindset of a parent and imagine that's your daughter. What would you do to this man if that's your daughter? Wright had been with the West Milton Police Department since September 2018. He previously worked with the Covington Police Department and is a Navy veteran. He was placed on paid administrative leave when the investigation began in December 2019. He was placed on unpaid administrative leave when the indictment was served in 2020. He has since resigned from the department. Wow. Unbelievable. In opening statements Monday, Kendall said evidence would show Wright engaged in sexual conduct with the girl beginning when she was 10. Oh my God. What is, wow. Bro, Listen, I'm having a tough time processing that. Like, what kind of a man looks at a 10-year-old? There is no, again, you have guys out there who say, well, some of these girls, they look older. There's no way you fuck up a damn 10-year-old now. There's no way you misidentify a 10-year-old girl and not know that she's at the very least, too young for you, bro. Especially with you being a police officer, especially with you getting training with sexual assault survivors, with rape victims, or at least I would hope you would have had that fucking training. There's no way with you doing, actual police work for years and years and years that you can't tell difference. You of all people, again, if we're talking about a common civilian, that's one thing. But you are a police officer. You should be able to know the difference between a 10-year-old girl and an 18-year-old. You should know the goddamn. Don't even fix your mouth to tell me you didn't know. No. When she was 10 years old, do you understand how fucking sick you gotta be, man? This activity continued until late 2019 when the girl disclosed the abuse, he said. In closing arguments Thursday, Kendall asked jurors to use common sense and look at testimony about touch DNA and from sexual abuse experts who describe child reporting often first to appear. The girl, he said, has no motivation to do anything but to come in here and tell the truth. Wow. That is so disgusting. That is so... I feel for this girl, man. I feel for this girl, man. Imagine how different her life is going to be from now on, man. That is so sick, bro. That is some sick shit, bro. Lopez said the girl had been disciplined in the past for not telling the truth. Prosecutors would believe the girl's story, but don't have the evidence to corroborate it. He said, what you have is a 12-year-old girl who has admitted she has lied, telling the story and other people trying to justify why this story might be possible, Lopez said. Wow. So you're telling me that with touch DNA, again, so this Lopez person, that's the ex-cop's attorney claiming that this girl is lying because in the past she lied. She is 12 years old now. She's 13 years old. So if a 12 or 13-year-old girl has ever been lectured for lying in the past, has ever been lectured, you shouldn't listen to her when she comes forward about a police officer molesting her, even though fucking DNA evidence is present there. And sexual abuse experts were testifying saying that it fucking happened. But DNA evidence, the same DNA evidence that cops use to convict motherfuckers in goddamn court, is now being used to show that this cop is a fucking pedophile. And now you want to tell me that the girl's lying? Unbelievable. I mean, at this point, if you are a cop, right, you cannot get mad if people don't trust you. Because stuff like this, man, you know, suppose for a second he became a little bit grabby, right? And he wanted something from her, and she said no. How would she have stopped him? He has a gun. Scary ass thought, huh? That is horrifying. That is horrifying. That is just... Man, I gotta say, like, that's just... I just... don't know how to really follow that up. But we got another bad cop no donut story for you. This one is This one's kind of wild. So we have another subscriber, Cryptid Commune. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Oh my gosh, welcome to the channel. We're gonna do this story real quick, but before we get into that, 420 smoke if you got them, 420 smoke if you got them. I'm gonna go ahead and get to mine. Yes, I'm a YouTuber. I do smoke weed on camera because I believe in freedom and liberty. And if you don't, then this is not a channel for you. You might want to go to some bootlicker channel. Might want to go to some channel with grandmas and boomers. If you're a boomer, I don't have an issue with you. I love boomers too, but there's definitely channels that go geared towards the stereotypical boomer. It's not every boomer out there. Some boomers are cool. Some boomers are cool, believe it or not. But 420 smoke if you got them. 420 smoke if you got them. All right. So we're gonna get down to the getting down. All right. So we got a bad cop, no donut for you. This is gonna be a kind of a bizarre bad cop, no donut for you. So this officer who was arrested for a DUI was not even in his jurisdiction. He was in a different state. This is from Coastal Breeze News. This is gonna be a bizarre one. You're not gonna see too many of these like this one. DUI arrest for visiting officer published on May 1st, 2021. Let's get into this one. This is a wild story. A possible tragedy may have been prevented when Marco Island police officers stopped a vehicle on North Barfield Drive in the vicinity of Martin. Let's go ahead. Let's just go over that one again. A possible tragedy may have been prevented when Marco Island police officers stopped a vehicle on North Barfield Drive in the vicinity of Martinique Court early on Thursday morning last week. The vehicle in question was driving erratically, according to officers, and straying into oncoming traffic lanes when the officers stopped the vehicle. Now, I wonder who could possibly have been behind the wheel. Could it have been the spirit of George Floyd? You know, the evil George Floyd, as police officers and bootlickers so viciously describe him as. Could it have been, a Black Lives Matter supporter? Could it have possibly been Antifa? Who was it behind the wheel? I'm very curious. And curious minds want to know. Curious mind, who is behind the wheel? Upon approaching the vehicle, officers stated in their reports they smelled alcohol coming from inside the vehicle driven by Marcus Reardon, 57, of Brockton, Massachusetts. Officers also detected slurring of speech by Reardon. When the officers requested Reardon exit the vehicle and undergo what is known as a field sobriety test, he showed them a police agency ID from Brockton, Massachusetts, in addition to a concealed carry permit prior to exiting the vehicle. Wow. So he was going to show his badge as soon as he got out of the vehicle, say, hey guys, listen. I know I might have done something wrong, but, thin blue wall, I tell you what, thin blue wall, guys, thin blue wall, you got to let me go. All right. You know how they talk. During a period of time wherein tactical discussions were held between officers regarding how to deal with the unknowns concerning the situation, the officers under command of their supervisor and according to department protocols chose to pause recording technical discussions as to how to proceed. The incident was resolved without further escalation or injuries to any parties. Reardon wait, I'm sorry, I'm fucking up a speech here. Reardon failed the test and was placed under arrest. The subject then became verbally abusive with the officers, blaming them for his erratic driving. After being placed under arrest for suspicion of driving under the influence, Reardon continued his outbursts and was transported to the Collier County Detention Center where he would be processed. So he's blaming them for his bad driving. That is so indicative of the modern day officer. You notice how whenever they fucking abuse you, right? They start kicking your ass. They want to start beating you up. They want to start treating you like shit. They always say the same crazy shit. Why did you make me do this? Why did you make me hurt you? It's the craziest, bizarre shit I've ever seen in my life. Why did you make me do this? It is the exact same thing that a very abusive spouse says. Don't make me hurt you. Why did you make me hurt you? You made me drink this damn booze. You made me drive erratically. All right? You made me do this. All right? There is no way you can tell me he does not beat his wife. I'm not saying that I know that for sure. I just strongly suspect it. I strongly suspect it. Because it's the exact same whole logic that you would expect from a goddamn wife beater. There were 746 oh wow, they about to go in and try to like bury this man. There were 746 vehicular fatalities attributed to impaired driving in Florida in 2020 from alcohol, drugs, or a combination of both. Although fatalities have decreased over the last decade due to increased enforcement and education efforts, the numbers still are staggering in deaths, serious injuries, and property losses. This is a Mark Reardon shown to have been promoted to sergeant in December of 2018 within the Massachusetts agency, according to local news articles in Brockton. Wow. So they were talking about the actual numbers about people who were dying and about the enforcement, and they're showing how this guy was promoted to freaking sergeant 3 years ago. 2018 was 3 years. We're in 2021 now. Okay. So it's very, very interesting to see yet another story whereas you're told to not drink and drive, you're told to obey the law. It's yet another story of do as I say and not as I do by the goddamn road pirates, aka Slave Patrol, aka pigs, ACAB. Once again, bad cop, no donate, hit like button, hit share button. Make sure you share the content. Horns up, peace out, good night, and good luck. All right, guys, I started my way through that one, but guess what? That's going to be it for the podcast today, guys. Thank you for joining me today. Horns up, peace out. Don't forget to join me for next time for another Pitchfork podcast. We're going to be doing some live edits. We're going to be uploading these live edits, these actual stories, these actual news stories, so you guys will have them. Until next time, horns up, peace out, good night, and good luck.